Unlocking the sacred power of morning prayer. Awaken your spirit and embrace hidden guidance. I never expected a single dream to change everything, but there I was, kneeling on my cold wooden floor, a wave of doubt crashing over me like a tidal wave. My heart raced as I closed my eyes, searching for a sign. Just moments earlier, I had awakened breathless from a dream that felt real, alive, filled with whispers from a hidden realm. It wrapped around me like a soft, invisible shawl, urging me to do something that tugged at the very fibers of my spirit. The world outside was cloaked in a thick fog, the air heavy with expectation. I took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of damp earth and wet leaves. It was the kind of morning that felt pregnant with magic. I could hear the distant call of a lone crow, its echo piercing through the silence like a haunting melody. Nature was awakening, and so was I. In my mind's eye, I saw visions that flowed like a river, an ancient tree bathed in golden light, its branches swaying gently under the weight of unseen forces. I could almost feel the energy pulsating from its roots, a connection that transcended time and space. Each leaf whispered secrets. I wanted to know more, but doubt clouded my thoughts. What could this mean? I yearned for answers. I sat in meditation, the shadows dancing around me as flickering candles illuminated the room. My heartbeat synchronized with the flickers, each beating a reminder of my inner turmoil. Questions consumed me. Would I find the strength to follow the inexplicable path laid before me? What lay beyond the veil of skepticism? As the moments passed, I felt a tingling sensation surge through my fingertips, an electric pulse of something greater than myself. Perhaps this was just my imagination, or was it something more? I envisioned an apparition, a figure cloaked in shimmering light, hovering just beyond my line of sight. Its presence was at once comforting and unnerving. I wanted to reach out, to grasp what seemed just out of reach, yet felt my body freeze, caught between fear and hope. The air thickened with anticipation, like the breath before a storm. My eyes flitted open, scanning my surroundings. Was I alone in this journey, or was there a greater purpose woven into the fabric of my reality? An owl hooted outside, its voice a riddle that echoed in the stillness. I shivered, feeling the weight of tomorrow pressing down hard, an unseen force compelling me to listen, to awaken. And just like that, the vision faded, leaving me in a haze of uncertainty. I felt a lump rising in my throat. What if I chased this calling only to find emptiness? A question lingered heavy in the air. What awaited me if I dared to open that door to the unknown? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As the morning light filtered through the window, spilling across the floor in soft, golden tendrils, I found myself at a crossroads. The echoes of the owl's haunting call lingered. Losing myself in thought, I wondered if I had missed other messages previously unnoticed. This journey was like navigating a forest shrouded in mist, each step filled with both trepidation and exhilaration. I resolved to venture outside. I needed the embrace of nature to ground me. As I stepped onto the damp grass, each blade glistened with dew, sparkling like tiny jewels under the awakening sun. My senses sharpened, and I listened intently to the symphony of life around me, rustle of leaves, the gurgle of a nearby stream, and the distant chatter of birds welcoming the day. These sounds became my guide, urging me to delve deeper. As I wandered down a winding path lined with wildflowers, I encountered a peculiar sight. An old woman with silver hair cascading like a waterfall over her shoulders, seated on a rock, her hands skillfully weaving strands of colorful yarn into a tapestry. Drawn in by an invisible thread of curiosity, I approached her. There was an ethereal quality about her, as if she were both grounded in this world and connected to something far greater. She looked up as if sensing my presence and smiled warmly, her eyes shimmering with wisdom. "Ah, a seeker are you?" Her voice was melodic, resonating deep within my heart. You stand at the entrance of a grand adventure. Adventure? I echoed, my voice barely above a whisper. I'm just trying to understand these dreams, these visions. Understand this. Each dream is your soul's call to know itself, she replied, her fingers deftly working the yarn. But the meaning is not found in a single sign. It's a tapestry woven over time, with each thread representing an experience, an encounter, a lesson. That I sat beside her, captivated. How do I uncover the threads of my tapestry? By being aware, she said, glancing at me with a knowing smile. The universe speaks through symbols and signs, but you must be willing to listen and feel. She handed me a small piece of woven fabric, vibrant hues swirling together. This is a reminder of interconnectedness. All that is bound together. Boldly I questioned, but what if I lose my way? What if I can't see the threads clearly? Her laughter was light, yet it held a profound depth. Ah, my dear, even in the confusion, clarity can emerge. Trust the journey. The path may twist and turn, but every step is purposeful. Revel in the uncertainty. It is there that the most profound revelations bloom. Before I could respond, a gust of wind swept through the clearing, rustling the leaves and carrying with it the scent of wild jasmine and honeysuckle. The air vibrated with energy, and suddenly the tranquility around us transformed into something electric. The old woman rose, her presence commanding the space. Remember, she said softly, when you stand at the edge of fear, there lies freedom. Embrace it. With that, she vanished as inexplicably as she had appeared, leaving me with an array of emotions swirling within, a mix of inspiration and unease. The tapestry of my life felt richer. Yet the intricacies both bewitched and bewildered me. As I stood up, fabric clutched tightly in hand, I realized that my journey was only just beginning. The ponderings of the old woman echoed in my mind. Trust the journey, embrace the fear. But the questions persisted. What exactly did my dreams seek to reveal? How would I discern which threads were woven in faith and which were spun from illusion? I looked toward the path ahead, teeming with promise yet dense with uncertainty. The fog began to clear, but shadows still lingered, beckoning me to explore deeper. With an open heart, I took a step forward, ready to seek, to listen, and to embrace the unknown. Where would the next thread lead me? As I pressed onward along the winding path, the whispers of the old woman intertwined with the earthy aromas that filled the air. The sun climbed higher, casting dappled sunlight through the branches overhead, illuminating a carpet of violets and ferns. The world felt alive in a pulsating rhythm, and I closed my eyes, inhaling deeply, allowing nature's essence to envelop my being. Suddenly, a rustle nearby broke my reverie. I opened my eyes to see a small fox watching me curiously from a thicket. Its bright eyes sparkled with intelligence, and for a moment, time stood still as we shared a silent understanding. I sensed the fox was more than a mere animal. It embodied guidance, wisdom, and a hint of mischief, qualities that resonated with the very journey I had embarked upon. In the quiet of this sacred moment, the fox turned, glancing back as if inviting me to follow. I felt an inexplicable pull to pursue this new companion, so I began to tread lightly through the underbrush, mimicking its grace. As we ventured deeper into the woods, the cacophony of nature turned into a subtle hum, vibrating with possibility. The fox led me to a hidden glade where the sunlight poured in, illuminating an ancient stone circle. Here the air felt thicker, charged with something unnameably, a sense of reverence and connection to the earth. Each stone appeared weathered and wise, etched with markings that seemed to tell forgotten stories. I recognized this place as a sanctuary, a gathering spot for dreams and prayers, as if it were the heart of the forest itself. With the fox now perched upon a moss-covered stone, I approached the circle, feeling the energy seep into my bones. For reasons unknown, I knelt in its center, my hands pressing into the lush grass. Trying to align myself with the sacredness of the moment, I brought forth the piece of woven fabric gifted by the old woman, letting it rest lightly upon the earth. What does it mean? I murmured to the wind, hoping the energies around me would provide clarity. A gentle breeze swept through the circle, whispering secrets I could not yet understand. I closed my eyes and began to breathe, echoing the rhythm of my heartbeat with the pulse of the universe. When I opened my eyes again, a sudden spark ignited within me. I reached into my heart's depths, recalling the dreams that had haunted me, vivid encounters with figures cloaked in shadows, voices that reverberated like thunder, and the sense of time bending in my sleep. Each dream was a question posed to my waking mind, a challenge to peel back the layers of my existence. As I focused, a dark figure emerged in my mind, a representation of my fears and doubts. I felt a twinge of anxiety. It was the embodiment of uncertainty, questioning whether I had the courage to confront what lay ahead. It stood tall, a shadow in the dim light, daring me to acknowledge its existence. Just then, the fox jumped down, instinctively positioning itself between me and the looming figure. Its fierce stance sent shivers down my spine, instilling a flicker of hope. What if this fear is simply a part of my journey? I pondered aloud. What if it's just a thread in my tapestry? The answer eluded me, yet a tranquil understanding washed over my spirit. Perhaps this figure didn't exist to scare me, but to teach me, to remind me of my resilience and the strength buried deep within my soul. I realized that by embracing my fears and challenging them head-on, I could unravel their grip and transform them into threads of wisdom. I took a deep breath, feeling the essence of the sacred circle envelop me as I gathered the courage to rise. As I stood, the fox turned to me, its eyes burning brightly with what felt like encouragement. Together we faced the shadow, and in that moment, I felt the buoyancy of hope pressing against the weight of the unknown. Leaving the glade behind, the path diverged before me, a force that whispered of myriad choices, opportunities, and revelations waiting to unfold. With renewed intention, I stepped forward, feeling the fabric of my experiences entwine with the threads of possibility. As I walked, I contemplated the lessons of trust and fear, the delicate dance between courage and doubt. The old woman's voice echoed like a mantra in my mind. Every step is purposeful. What message lay hidden in the fears I faced? What patterns awaited my discovery in this intricate tapestry? I inhaled the fragrance of blooming flowers, allowing it to anchor me in the present, knowing that each breath brought me closer to understanding the mysteries that beckoned me. And so, with an open heart, I continued down the path, ever curious, ever questioning, seeking to unlock the sacred power that lay within each moment. As I journeyed deeper along the path, the vibrant colors of the forest shifted subtly, taking on a more ethereal quality. The greens were lusher, the browns richer, and golden light danced delicately upon the leaves, creating a symphony of hues that stirred something deep within me. I felt like a soul adrift in an ocean of vitality, each step a heartbeat resonating with the world around me. Suddenly, a soft rustling caught my attention. From the underbrush emerged a deer, gentle and luminous, walking with an elegance that made it look almost unreal. Its presence was calming, and as our eyes met, I could feel an unspoken connection, as if it recognized my quest and the weight of my journey. The deer stood still for a moment, regarding me with an understanding that sent ripples of warmth through my chest. With a graceful tilt of its head, the deer began to move, beckoning for me to follow. As I pursued this new companion, I sensed the path shift again, leading me through a thicket of tall wildflowers, their sweet scent intoxicating. Each blossom appeared to nod in recognition as I passed, as if the very bloom of nature acknowledged my passage. The deer guided me to a serene clearing, the focal point of which was a large reflective pond that gleamed like glass under the sun. I approached the water, mesmerized by the stillness that enveloped the space. It was as if the pond was a portal, a boundary between my world and the mysteries beyond. I knelt beside it, gazing into its depths, searching for answers in the swirling reflections. As I looked, memories from my dreams flitted through my mind like fireflies, illuminating fragments of the past. Moments of clarity struck like thunder in the quiet of my heart. I recalled the shadow that had loomed before me, the embodiment of my fears, but I realized there was more to that darkness. It held the echoes of choices I had avoided, paths untraveled, whispers of a courage I hadn't yet fully explored. Show me what I need to learn, I whispered to the pond, feeling an electric anticipation coursing through me. The water rippled, twisting the reflections, and suddenly, the image morphed into that of the old woman, the keeper of wisdom. Her eyes sparkled like twin stars, anchored in an infinite depth of knowing. Every morning holds promise, she seemed to say, though her lips did not move. What you seek may reveal itself in the stillness of your heart. Realization dawned as I grasped her words. There was sacred power in morning prayer. In the stillness before dawn, when the world held its breath, waiting for light. I understood now that this practice could connect me with the unseen energies of the universe, drawing out the wisdom buried within me. Just then, a gentle breeze stirred the surface of the pond, breaking the spell of stillness and shaking loose thoughts that had lingered too long. The ripples danced outward, distorting my reflection until I could no longer see myself but rather, the essence of my spirit layered, intricate, and interwoven with all of life's energies. I felt the weight of gratitude wash over me. Indeed, I was not alone in this journey. As I stood, the deer flicked its tail and began to walk away, pausing to look back at me, as if to remind me of the path that still lay ahead. I sensed that this moment was but a brief sojourn in which whispers of forgotten truths mingled with the pulse of the earth. I longed to delve deeper, to unearth the wisdom that was still cloaked in mystery. With renewed determination, I followed the deer back through the fragrant blooms and into the embrace of the forest once again. I felt the essence of the sacred circle from the glade intertwine with this new revelation, anchoring me within the tapestry of existence. What cryptic messages awaited me in the dawn hours, cloaked in the silence before the sun broke free? What other realms of understanding were there to discover when I learned to still my mind and listen to the whispers of creation? Each step now felt infused with purpose, weaving intention and wonder into the fabric of my being. Carried the echo of the old woman's wisdom, the courage of the fox, and the grace of the deer, each a part of the greater story waiting to unfold. And so, with an open heart, I ventured forth, curious as ever, a seeker in an enchanted forest, ever questioning what other sacred moments awaited me in the journey of awakening. As I traversed deeper into the forest, the air felt thick with an unnameable energy. The trees towered around me, their bark gnarled and twisted, adorning the trunks with delicate filaments of moss that glistened with droplets of dew. I felt the ancestral wisdom radiating from these sentinels of time, and my heart echoed with each whisper of the wind that wove through their leaves. Following the deer led me to a path marked by stones, each one different in color and texture, yet they held a familiar warmth under my fingers as I brushed against them. I heard the distant sound of water, a babbling brook carrying secrets of the land. Drawn to its song, I quickened my pace, the anticipation building within me to uncover what awaited by its banks. When I reached the brook, I found it dance playfully over smooth stones, creating a melody that seemed to resonate with the very pulse of life. Kneeling at its edge, I observed how sunlight sparkled like tiny stars upon the water, illuminating my surroundings with an ephemeral glow. Intrigued, I dipped my fingers into the cool stream, and in that moment, a vision surged forward, a cascade of images, vivid and bright, that I saw myself standing at the edge of life's great tapestry. Each thread I touched felt alive, vibrating with the energy of those who had come before, weaving their hopes and dreams into the fabric of existence. I recognized the gifts of nature, the beauty of shared stories, and the silent strength of resolve that lay in every human heart. But there, too, was a strand glimmering more brightly than the rest, a path yet untraveled, a choice to be made. The brook swirled around me, weaving through the vision like an artist's hand mixing colors on canvas. My breath quickened, but soon, calmness settled in as I dared to question, what does this mean? The water answered with a soft rush, as if shaping its reply in the ripples. To awaken the spirit is to embrace uncertainty. The river flows, yet it remains unbroken. Each bend brings new landscapes, new lessons. Trust in your unfolding. With each word, I felt layers of self-imposed limitations begin to peel away like old bark from a tree. The brook shimmered as if nodding, urging me onward towards the sun-stroked path that blurred into the underbrush ahead. Uncertainty was the nature of life, but it held promise, awakening the dormant courage within me. The deer reappeared this time, accompanied by a second, smaller one that seemed to emanate playfulness. The first deer lingered, glancing back as if to ensure my spirit was willing to follow, while the younger one danced around, bounding through the wildflowers, playful and free. An invitation, perhaps, to reconnect with joy and wonder, to embrace the laughter within me as I journeyed onward. As I followed, a newfound lightness enveloped me. I started to hum, the melody an unstructured tune taken from the essence of the forest, a chorus of unseen beings joining together in an ode to existence. It stirred a harmony within, and as I surrendered to its rhythm, I felt the world vibrate around me, a dance of particles spun tighter by intention, yet loosened by joy. Our path wound upward toward a hill, where sunlight spilled like liquid gold over the landscape, beckoning me to the crest. I reached it at last, breathless, and stood before a wide vista where the forest stretched endlessly, unbroken in its mysteries. It seemed to call forth the secrets like swirling mists on the horizon, an invitation to explore the unknown. In that profound expanse, I felt the connection to all beings unfurl like a flower reaching for the dawn. Questions rushed to the forefront of my mind. Was I prepared to embrace potential? Could I honor the tapestry already woven, as I added my own threads? The sun dipped low, painting the sky in hues that echoed the lessons I had learned of courage, exploration, and the sacredness of silence before dawn. Each moment contained wisdom waiting to pour forth from the heart of the universe. As twilight began to descend, I knew the journey was far from over. I carried a deeper knowing now, yet many questions remained unanswered. The path stretched before me with infinite possibilities, and I felt a pulse beneath my feet, shaking with life's invitation to discover. What revelations awaited me in the quiet corners of the world? In sealing the knowledge I'd encountered, would I unearth the very essence of who I was meant to be? The unfolding question hung in the air, charged with promise. Where would the next whispered lesson lead me? As dawn began to unfurl its golden tendrils across the horizon, the world emerged slowly from slumber. I stood at the crest of the hill, awash in soft hues that spoke of warmth and renewal, tinged with the promises of a new day. The forest stretched beneath me, a vibrant tapestry of greens and browns, each leaf twinkling like a star born anew. I inhaled deeply, the scent of earth and dew filling my lungs, grounding me in this sacred moment of transition. The memory of the brook's song still lingered within me, echoing softly along with the gentle breeze that tousled my hair. It was a reminder that, like the river, I too was flowing toward something greater. But what was this greater purpose? I felt the weight of the unanswered question settle heavily on my heart. In the stillness, I became aware of the sounds around me. Birds began their morning chorus, their calls weaving together like threads spun by an unseen hand, each note a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. Suddenly, the call of a woodpecker echoed sharply, an attention-grabbing reminder from nature that the day was awakening as surely as I was. It stirred a sense of anticipation within me. With that sound resonating in my spirit, I turned from the vista and moved downward into the embrace of the forest. The deer had vanished into the underbrush, but their presence remained a subtle emotional imprint urging me onward. As I trod lightly on the moss-laden earth, I felt a rhythm beneath my steps, a heartbeat that synchronized with my own. Deeper into the forest, I was surrounded by ancient trees whose branches twisted and turned, reaching toward the heavens. I reached out to touch the rough bark of one such tree, its surface rough but warm. In that contact, I felt a pulse, a communication surging through the connection, whispering words of age-old wisdom. In order to grow, you must let the winds of change sculpt your being, it seemed to say, just as the brook had. Fueled by this revelation, I pressed forward, trusting my instinct, navigating between vibrant ferns and sun-drenched glades. Each step led me closer to the heart of something larger than myself. The air shimmered with anticipation, as if the forest knew I was seeking something beyond my current understanding. After a time, I stumbled upon a clearing bathed in soft light. At its center stood an old stone altar, weathered but proud, draped in climbing vines and wildflowers that painted it in colors of both vibrancy and decay. It was as if it had been Waitinga's sacred invitation to converse with the sacred energies present. I approached with reverence, drawn to the altar's quiet dignity. Kneeling before it, I placed my hands on the cool stone, feeling the remnants of prayers long offered. I closed my eyes and surrendered to the moment, allowing my thoughts to drift like flurries in the wind. I envisioned the myriad souls who had come before me, each weaving their intentions into this space, infusing it with stories of love, loss, hope, and healing. Here lies your essence, a soft voice seemed to whisper in the rustle of leaves. In the balance of giving and receiving, in the echoes of hearts that sought clarity. And in that instant, there it was the realization that the sacred power of prayer was not merely an asking, but a profound act of surrender to the flow of life itself. A desire ignited within me to communicate my own intentions, to expand my heart like the wildflower vines spiraling up the altar, reaching toward the light. With each breath, I gave thanks for the experiences that had shaped me thus far, for the melodies of nature that guided me toward truth. Opening my eyes, I sensed a change, the clearing pulse with energy that felt alive and welcoming, yet cryptic, a collective breath of the universe. The forest around me thrummed with possibilities, yet questions remained, a tide of uncertainty washing over me. What do I truly seek in this sacred journey? Was it understanding, purpose, connection, or perhaps something beyond the limits of my current comprehension? As I got to my feet, I could feel the vibrant energy of the forest propelling me forward, reminding me that each realization is but a stepping stone on this divine pathway. The sun rose higher, illuminating the altar in a golden haze, highlighting the invitation to venture further into the unseen realms of spirituality awaiting me. Unfolding mysteries beckoned in the shadows of the trees, tempting me to decipher their secrets. Would I find the guidance I sought, and how would it shape the threads of my existence? As I left the clearing behind, these questions danced in my mind, woven into the very fabric of my spirit. The forest awaited, a vast repository of lessons, love, and whispers from the divine, all urging me onward into the embrace of the unknown. What further wisdom lay hidden in its depths, and would I dare to embrace every challenge and beauty that awaited me? The forest enveloped me like a whispering cloak as I ventured deeper into its embrace. Each footfall felt lighter, propelled not just by curiosity, but by an unquenchable thirst for understanding, a yearning that pulsed through my veins like the lifeblood of the earth itself. The shadows danced playfully at the edges of my path, coaxing me to surrender to the adventure unfolding before me. As I walked, the gentle rustle of the leaves began to transform into a rhythmic symphony, the sound weaving a tale older than time. It was as if the trees themselves held stories, their branches arching gracefully like the fingers of an ancient storyteller inviting me to listen. I paused to breathe in the rich tapestry of scents, the wild herbs, damp earth, and distant resin of pinny, a blend that seemed to echo the divine intertwining of all that existed. My journey led me to a narrow trail where the light fractured through the canopy above, casting freckles of gold upon the forest floor. Words of wisdom surged in my mind like gentle waves, each new thought washing over me with refreshing clarity. Everything is a lesson, and every lesson is a step toward awakening, I mused, feeling a renewed commitment to seek the teachings hidden in the mundane moments of life. Just then, a flash of vibrant blue caught my eye. It was a blue jay, perched on a low branch, its gaze steady and curious. I regarded it as if it were a guide sent to illuminate my path. The bird tilted its head, and in that fleeting moment, I felt a connection, a silent conversation exchanged between spirit and creature. A surge of appreciation filled my heart. The blue jay was a reminder of the beauty manifested in diverse forms, each possessing its unique vibrancy and purpose. With a newfound sense of kinship, I continued onward, enveloped in the spirit of gratitude. It wasn't just the beauty of nature that resonated within me. It was the realization that simplicity held profound wisdom. How often had I searched for elaborate answers, when the essence of truth might reside within the small, everyday miracles? This thought unfurled in my mind like the petals of a blooming flower, each layer revealing additional insights into my own existence. As I walked, the trail narrowed and led me closer to a shimmering stream, its water flowing effortlessly over smooth stones. Kneeling beside it, I cupped my hands and let the cool liquid rush over my fingers. I watched as the water danced around rocks and roots, never fighting against obstacles, but flowing gracefully around them. What a potent metaphor for life this was, learning to navigate my own journey, encountering challenges while remaining fluid in my spirit. In that tranquil moment, I realized that resilience and adaptability were my guiding principles. I closed my eyes and listened, not just to the babbling stream, but to the silence that lingered beneath it, a silence alive with potential. What lessons awaited me if I learned to embrace my own ebb and flow? Suddenly, like a flicker of illumination, a thought struck me. What if my own obstacles were not to be resisted but accepted, just as the water accepted the stones? I opened my eyes, feeling a sense of liberation wash over me. I vowed to face each challenge with openness, trust, and curiosity. As I rose, the sun tilted lower in the sky, draping the forest in hues of amber and rose. The shift in light beckoned me forward yet again. Curiosity thrummed in my chest, fearfully intertwined with exhilaration. I was aware of something greater calling me, an invitation to delve deeper into the mysteries that awaited just beyond my current understanding. Each moment felt like a layer lifting, revealing previously hidden threads of existence. And yet, questions lingered. How could I merge the insights I had gleaned so far with the new challenges waiting at the horizon? Was my purpose a singular destination, or a continual journey of discovery? Could there be beauty in my unknowing, a sacred dance between questioning and embracing? The path ahead shimmered with possibility, every twist and turn enveloped in enigma and allure. With my heart open and senses alive, I stepped forward, ready to embrace whatever guidance the universe chose to bestow upon me. The answers would reveal themselves in time, I reminded myself. Until then, what radiant lessons, what hidden guidance lay brimming in the tapestry of life, yet to be unraveled? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting shadows that seemed to dance in rhythm with my thoughts, I took a moment to appreciate the enchanting stillness that enveloped the forest. The evening air was cool, and an array of delicate nocturnal sounds began to emerge. It was a gentle reminder that while daylight faded, a new kind of awakening was just beginning. That I wandered through the dimming light, entranced by how the world transformed after sunset. Tiny fireflies began to flicker like stars released from the heavens, illuminating my path with their soft glow. Each glow sparkled with possibility, whispering secrets of the night, and urging me to look beyond what appeared in plain sight. I paused, feeling the weight of the day's revelations settle into my bones, and an urge to connect with something deeper welled within me. Finding a resting place on a moss-covered rock, I closed my eyes and breathed deeply, allowing my senses to awaken to the stillness surrounding me. I recalled the lessons of the stream, the importance of adaptability, of flowing around obstacles, and wondered how this principle could guide my understanding of the darkness that accompanied the night. In the tranquility of the moment, I sought to invite forth a dialogue with the universe. "Please show me," I whispered to the cosmos, my heart trembling with hope. "What is it that I need to learn from this journey? How can the night reveal truths that can only be seen without the light of day?" As if in response to my plea, the night deepened, and I felt a gentle breeze curl around me, carrying hints of earth and mystery. Suddenly, I heard a soft rustling in the underbrush nearby. My heart quickened, a curiosity and a tinge of apprehension intermingling. Emerging from the shadows, a deer stepped delicately onto my path. Its velvety antlers caught the faint glow of the fireflies, making it appear ethereal and otherworldly. That I held my breath, feeling the sacredness of the encounter. The deer regarded me with large, soulful eyes, as though it were a guardian of the forest sent to share a moment of understanding. I could feel a pulse of energy connecting us, a silent communication that transcended words. In that instant, time stood still. The deer turned and vanished into the night, leaving me with an overwhelming sensation of peace and a question lingering in the air. What wisdom had the creature imparted with its presence? The response unfolded in my heart, reminding me of the trust we often place in nature, a trust mingled with vulnerability and acceptance. It dawned on me that, like the deer, I must learn to navigate my own path with grace, feeling out uncertainties and embracing fragility. The idea seeped into my awareness that vulnerability was not a weakness but rather a necessary component of existence, integral to the journey of self-discovery. With urgency, I took a deep breath, allowing the revelation to settle. From that moment, I recognized a deeper intention for this journey, not only to embrace the answers that awaited me, but to cultivate an authentic relationship with my fears and uncertainties. They could be sources of insight if I learned to approach them with curiosity. Rising from my seat upon the mossy rock, I walked onward, the forest now alive in shades of silver and mystery. My surroundings shifted, no longer just an external environment, but a reflection of my inner state. I began to notice symbols etched into the bark of trees, a spiral resembling the path of my journey, and a heart-shaped pattern formed by intertwined vines, each an affirmation of connectivity within the universe. The deeper I ventured, the more questions enveloped me, beckoning for attention. What if the very essence of spiritual awakening hinged upon embracing both light and dark? Could the shadows, often feared, hold keys to insights that the light could not reveal? And so I marveled at the beauty of these dualities, recognizing that they painted the full picture of existence. That as I emerged into a small clearing, The moonlight cascaded over me, illuminating the path ahead like a silver ribbon woven with promise. I paused once more, overwhelmed by gratitude for the journey that lay before me, a sacred call to dive even deeper into the essence of my being and the mysteries of life. With my heart open wide and a newfound commitment to navigate both the shadows and light, I ventured forward into the vast unknown, wondering what hidden guidance awaited me at each turn. What lessons from the darkness are yet to be unveiled? What insights lie dormant, waiting for the right moment to emerge in the tapestry of my journey? The questions hung in the air like the fireflies, flickering with potential, as I stepped boldly into the embrace of the night. As I stepped forward into the moonlit clearing, the forest felt alive with the energies of the night. The cool, damp earth beneath my feet seemed to pulse with an ancient rhythm, resonating in harmony with my heartbeat. Every breath I took mingled with the whispers of the trees, calling me to embrace what lay beyond my understanding. I felt an urge to seek a more profound communion, not only with the natural world around me, but also with my own spirit. Then, in that stillness, I remembered a practice I had initially shunned, a morning prayer passed down through generations. As dawn had always symbolized a new beginning, I pondered how a sacred ritual might set the tone for the mysteries I sought to unravel. Perhaps it was time to breathe life into that forgotten rite. Finding a suitable spot within the clearing, I settled down again, this time with an intention spiraling through my mind like the symbols etched into the trees. I closed my eyes, allowing the sounds of the night to envelop me, a gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the soft lapping of a stream found nearby. These sounds were the universe's lullaby, soothing my spirit and calling me to connect. I envisioned the dawn, the soft hues of pink and orange painting the horizon, beckoning the day to awaken. Enveloping the image in my thoughts, I imagined every breath I took exhaling old doubts while inhaling strength, clarity, and inspiration. A deep longing surged in me to understand how each day began anew, how each moment held infinite possibilities. Guide me, I whispered into the night, my voice barely escaping into the silence. What is my sacred duty in this waking world? What is it I am being called to embrace? In response, an electric energy coursed through me, igniting a flicker of warmth that expanded from my core. I opened my eyes to find the moon captured in a halo of clouds, an ancient guardian shedding light upon my journey. The overwhelming presence of something greater encircled me, granting me a sense of belonging and purpose. Suddenly, from my periphery, I noticed a figure emerging from the dark, a tall silhouette stepping gracefully into the clearing. As it drew closer, the light revealed a woman adorned in flowing robes, her hair cascading like darkness kissed by silver. Her face held the richness of years and wisdom unseen, her eyes sparkling like twin stars in the velvety sky. Not fear the darkness, she spoke softly, her voice as soothing as the night. Embrace it as you would the dawn. Both are teachers in their own right. I felt the weight of her words resonate within me, planting seeds of understanding that would take root. What is the darkness meant to teach? I inquired, longing for guidance. She smiled, and there was an unfathomable warmth emanating from her presence, a blend of joy and melancholy. The darkness holds the unknown, she began, weaving her hands through the air, as if illustrating a tapestry only she could see. It is in the stillness that you discover the whispers of your heart, the hidden desires longing to be unchained. Yet, the dance with the light offers clarity, purpose, and direction. As she spoke, memory intertwined with insight, recalling moments when fear had stifled my ability to fully live and moments when clarity had illuminated the path ahead. The duality of existence revealed itself in her words, a balance between shadow and light as they danced through my consciousness. How do I navigate this? I pressed forward, seeking solutions that eluded me. Trust, dear soul, she replied, the very essence of her being radiating reassurance. Trust brings harmony within the contradictions of life. When you experience fear, lean in with curiosity. When light breaks through, hold it gently, recognizing it as both fleeting and eternal. The exchange felt both intimate and enlightening, as though ancient wisdom flowed freely between us. I wanted to grasp every word, every nuance, but there remained an inexplicable dance weaving my thoughts together. What if freedom lay not in answers but in the questions themselves? The woman shared one last gaze with me, her eyes shimmering with understanding before she receded into the shadows from whence she came. Alone again in the clearing, I let her words envelop me, a new truth settling within. I pondered the core essence of prayer, how it is not merely a request sent forth, but an invitation to build a relationship with the universe, to open a dialogue with the uncharted aspects of my own being. As the moonlight bathed the clearing in silvery beams, I felt a renewed energy pulsing within me, dim yet electrifying. My heart surged with reflections new and familiar. What hidden guidance awaits me with each sunrise? What messages lie in the whispers of my own soul that beckon me to listen? The questions lingered like stars strung across the vast tapestry of the universe, an invitation to continue my search for truth as I embarked on the next chapter of my journey. The sun broke over the horizon, gilding the world in warm hues of gold and soft rose. As I stood in the clearing enveloped by the serenity of the dawn, I felt transformed like a seedling bursting through the earth in search of light. The vibrant life of the forest thrummed around me, alive with energies that echoed my innermost yearnings. I contemplated the journey that had drawn me to this moment, a sacred pilgrimage woven with threads of doubt, fear, and newfound understanding. With each whisper of the leaves and flutter of wings, clarity descended upon my spirit like gentle rain. I closed my eyes, allowing the sun's gentle warmth to caress my face, grounding me in the present. The words of the wise woman lingered in my mind. Do not fear the darkness. It is in the stillness that you discover the whispers of your heart. Every hesitation, every fork in the road had been a teacher, guiding me deeper into the heart of what truly mattered. There had been moments when fear had seemed insurmountable, the looming shadow of uncertainty, but now I felt a blooming courage, radiant and unwavering. The gentle rustling of the forest mirrored my reflections. I was not merely a spectator here, but an active participant in a cosmic dance. The tapestry I journeyed through was vibrant with stories, each thread representing dreams, fears, and longings interwoven in a complex pattern of existence. I realized as the dawning light spilled forth, that I was both creator and creation, an inseparable part of the grand design, held by a universe that embraced me with open arms. The sacred power of morning prayer. A revelation surged within me, and I understood that this ritual was not just an act of speaking to the divine but a communion of hearts, a promise of surrendering to the unfolding flow of life. In that stillness I could hear the silent serenade of the universe, nudging me to trust my intuition, to be the seeker of my own truth, weaving meaning from life's colorful strands with renewed certainty. I took a deep breath and began to speak my heart into the dawn. May I be a vessel of light, sharing joy and love with all beings. May I embrace the uncertainty of this journey with an open heart, allowing it to guide me toward my highest potential. Each word felt like a pebble dropping into the depths of the ocean, sending ripples that passed through time and space. Soon the air shimmered with a palpable energy, as if the very essence of my sincere prayer danced upon the breeze. I envisioned the ripples carrying my intentions into the cosmos, merging with the breath of the world, and then unexpectedly, a soft voice echoed within my heart, a whisper both familiar and foreign. You are loved, you are guided, and this adventure is a sacred blessing. The sensation washed over me, igniting sparks of connection that wove through the fabric of my soul. I am the light of the new day. My spirit soared, and a profound realization settled into my bones. By embracing both shadow and light, by trusting the inherent wisdom within me and around me, I would uncover hidden gifts. The adventure would continue, each moment an opportunity to learn, grow, and awaken further, like the unfurling petals of a lotus, revealing its beauty slowly, delicately. As I opened my eyes to the world bathed in the soft light of dawn, I marveled at the intertwining of all things. The shimmer of dew on the grass, the buzz of a bee hovering over a flower, the call of the morning dove, all of it spoke of potential, of unity, of life. I took one last lingering breath before stepping forward, ready to embrace the next chapter of my journey. A dove alighted near my feet, its gentle coo echoing the call to follow my heart. There was magic everywhere, a reminder that every dawn offered me a blank canvas, an invitation to paint my existence with colors only I could choose. In that ethereal moment, with the sun heralding a new day, I realized the ultimate truth. We are the artists of our own lives, the weavers of our stories. Each choice, each experience is a brushstroke, a sacred part of the divine tapestry that connects us all. I stepped confidently onto the path ahead, inspired to navigate the intertwining threads of existence with grace and authenticity, knowing that uncharted territories awaited my exploration. And as the sun broke forth in its brilliance, illuminating the world, I smiled, ready to dance with the sacred, ready to awaken fully. embodying the truth that within this vast universe, we are all part of something infinitely greater. Each breath was a pulse of possibility, and I was at last reawakened to the miraculous journey of being alive.